So welcome everybody to the Voices of the Underground. For anyone who came in late, we're talking to Mahbod from Everipedia, which is launching on the EOS blockchain. I wonder what you think about fake news.
The only sources you can use on Wikipedia are like reputable sources. So anything that resembles a print source, like the ideal source for Wikipedia is a New York Times article. For us, our only rule with sources is it has to be something that's on the internet, which in some ways, I mean, it's way more over-inclusive than Wikipedia. But then the weird thing is with Wikipedia, because it's print-based, like something will be straight up on the internet, but you can't source it. You can't footnote it on Wikipedia. So then since we've just got you be able to cover anything that's on the internet, like you use anything as the internet as a source, that means all of these sources can come to Everipedia for scrutiny. So if like there's a fake news tweet, someone can cite it on Everipedia. That might sound really bad, but at least it's bringing the fake news tweet to the forefront.
Yeah.
And then the community can defeat it. You know, it's not just going to be standing out there. It's going to be presented up there so someone can strike it down. Kind of like how Snopes functions, but with a huge community doing it.
Definitely exciting to think about being like a stakeholder in the future encyclopedia of the internet. What can they use their stake for? Is it going to be like Steam where you can earn this stake on the platform for contributing?
Yeah, well, I think the voting is going to be very, very valuable. And the people who are earning them rather than just buying the tokens are going to have like day-to-day uses to like decide what kind of sources are going to be allowed on the site. Like maybe the community will have a big vote with IQ tokens to see if InfoWars should be allowed as a source on the site. Right now, we basically have this really, really broad rule for sources where you can use anything that's on the internet, but that might be a bit overbroad. So maybe the community will start figuring out ways to make it more mature, come up with a system which is regulated, but more robust than Wikipedia's. We just want to have as many voices. Like, you know, at Facebook, maybe there's like 2,500 employees who have some kind of stake and have some kind of say in the direction of the site. We want to have way more people. It's not just going to be the employees. It's going to be the whole community who has that kind of stake.
Does everyone identify themselves on Everipedia per your constitution on EOS, or is that optional?
I should have mentioned that. Yeah, so if you go to any page on Everipedia, it tells you who the top editors of the page are and how much IQ they've earned on the page. So we do not have the editorial anonymity that Wikipedia has. You kind of are, you have a byline for everything that you write on Everipedia, which I think is a way better system.
If you're storing a lot of information about a person and it's identifiable to them on a blockchain forever, then you've got that coupled with like the DNA guy that was here 2 weeks ago, Beans, who was storing your DNA in a blockchain. And we're starting to basically distribute the Facebook has everything about you problem to open blockchains all over the place. So my question would be, where's the safeguards? What are they? And am I identified on this network?
I'm not the best person to answer this because I don't really understand this stuff myself. But as I understand, I know that in the blockchain community, there's a lot of criticism of what Facebook is doing. And a lot of people perceive blockchain as being the antidote to this. I think the thing is, like, yeah, all the information is going to be out there. But since it's all out there, at least Mark Zuckerberg can't profiteer from it. You know what I mean?
So the only way to hide is in plain sight, which I've often said.
Yeah, when you make everything open, okay, nobody can just buy and sell it from companies. I think what the problem with stuff like Facebook and Google selling your data is illusion of privacy. They all create this illusion of privacy, which we really don't have. I got a text message yesterday with my name on it saying, we have a picture message from you from this link. And I'm like, okay, my data's being sold to scammers. Like, what the fuck? These guys know my name. With blockchain, yeah, everything's out there, everything's public, but it's like, you know what you're in for, you know what you're putting out there, and everybody owns it as opposed to, you know, a company who can sell it. So
they can still use it because they can get it and do things with it. That's pretty.
But everybody can do that, as opposed to somebody who bought it from the company.
And then again,
right?
You have things like the encrypted memo capability in Steam's wallet that give you, if that's been proven to work, we can encrypt things in these blockchains too and hide them again. So
I'm not 100% sure about the answer I'm giving. This is why unfortunately, one of the blockchain engineers was going to join me today to be able to answer like, deep questions like this, but they're all so slammed because the white paper came out today. So maybe there's an answer in the white paper, but I'm not sure that everyone's data is just going to be all over the place. I don't actually know how the blockchain treats data. I just know that people think it's going to be way better than the way Facebook does it. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around these data issues because, as I was explaining earlier, this is the opposite of the problem I've ever had. Like, my dream my whole life has just been to have like a Wikipedia page and for people to have information on me. So it's kind of funny to me that other people are like freaking out about people having information.
Practiced a code of life called live out loud for a long time on MySpace and Facebook, where I just put everything up there, dump my wife up there because hide them.
Exactly.
If you got all the information, you really got nothing on me to hold against me. So.
Very true. I guess, yeah, that's kind of my philosophy now that I think about it.
I know you probably don't have that much time to like get into Steam, but I think if you were in Steam, you'd probably know what I mean by the way people use data on Steam. I know quite a few data analysts on Steam. So that's kind of an example of the way people would use it. Kind of like the way Facebook recently, where they were selling like political data on who people were politically aligned to or whatever. It was pretty controversial or whatever, but I feel like that kind of stuff can be done on Steam. The only difference is it'd be easy for anybody to do it, and therefore it can't be held against people. On Steam, like, there's loads of data analysts who basically go and see who's voting for who, what kind of content is getting voted for, what kind of behaviors are more prevalent on the system and like that. And it's good for research. You know what I mean? A lot of it is actually good from what I've seen. I can't really give any bad examples of data on Steam that, was bad for people other than the people that weren't necessarily doing something good.
Let's see what the macro data usages of Everipedia are going to be. I think they're going to be very, very exciting. Like right now, one thing you can do on the site is a lot of people don't even know you can do this. If you go into a site and you place an internet URL, it shows you every page that cites that internet URL. If you have like someone's Instagram and you want more information on them, you put the Instagram into Everipedia, and then once Everipedia has like a page about everything, you'll be able to find other relevant links. I guess right now we're not working on that stuff because we're still just working on building the data set. But once it gets big enough, they're going to find all kinds of cool ways to manipulate it and learn from it. Like my old site is called Rap Genius. It tells you the meaning of lyrics. They built kind of like a data analysis platform on it called Rap Stats, where you enter any word and it tells you the trend of the use of that word in songs and also which songs use it. So like I found out that like Mercedes is the most popular car in rap. Like everyone thought it would be Cadillac, but actually it's Mercedes-Benz. And
Tahento is there in the text asking if you can get an invite because the website is now invite only. Yeah, is that something that's going to be going on for a while? Or?
We basically like to do a quick 5-minute interview with folks before they join the community because we found out that's a really good quality control mechanism. And then it's also a good way to onboard people. We don't really want you just go into the site and be like, hey, what's going on? It's better if some of the people who are experienced in the community can kind of help you get your feet wet.
For how long will it be like that? Or is that temporary?
The token stuff is going to try to automate a lot of this onboarding stuff that we've been doing manually. We have these super geniuses whipping up these tools that I'm a layperson, so I've never used them. I don't really know how they're going to work, but I believe I've been a big fan of blockchain since day one. I think already we're doing a better job with community curation than Wikipedia, but I think that the blockchain is going to allow us to do a really, really excellent job.
Shadows Pub wants to know what's the process to get the interview or the invite?
I believe the website is everpedia.org/contact, but it's not hard. Another way is just to reach out to me on social media or to reach out to anyone on Everipedia. Like we have a Facebook group that is very active. We also have a Telegram. That's probably the best place to start.
Oh, she has no cell phone.
Well, another way is I'm easy to find on Twitter and my DMs are open. So if you want to join us, trust me. Just hit me up. We'll get you in with arms. It's a lot of fun, and the sky's the limit. Who knows where this is going? It feels like riding on a rocket ship every day. I'm actually like freaking out. It's so exciting.